Hey, what is happening, Bulls and Bears? It is Saturday, April 2nd, 2022. Almost forgot the day. I just got done watching a video, a YouTube economist that I really like, I really respect. But another person out there is saying that the housing market is about ready to crash. Now, I've been watching these videos for a number of years, and again, I really respect a lot of these people putting out information. I appreciate alternate news and alternate views, and I'm sure many of you might appreciate, my views and my analysis and the research and the charts and all the data and stuff like that. But I'm just trying to figure out how some of these people that really are really smart people, they're following the economy, they look at a lot of different factors just like we do here, but somehow they seem to think that the housing market is going to crash. And again, some of them have been saying it for years. And of course, it could crash. You could see a black swan event where everything goes dark. Anything could happen, right? But to say that it's going to crash because the prices are too high, you got to look at a bigger picture than that. And that's what we're going to try to do here. We're going to look at not just the housing market, but just the economy overall. We're going to go over some important news here that we think is going to be helpful here to keep an eye on. So my view on the housing market: home prices are not going to crash. Even in 2008, home prices didn't crash. They started declining, but it was not a crash. It's not like a stock where you can just click a button and sell it. It's a several month process to buy and sell a home in most cases. Even cash buyers, it's still several weeks to several months. But what's happening? Yes, mortgage rates are rising. Doesn't mean home prices are going to crash. It just means that people are going to take out bigger loans. And yes, a few more people will be priced out of the market, but banks will still be able to give out bigger loans. Banks are not being restricted as far as lending goes. Until that happens, you're not going to see any sort of correction in the housing market. Also, institutional buying is very, very heavy. Last quarter, 2021, we saw it at record levels. The first quarter this year, 2022, expected to be another record quarter for institutional home buying. The home ownership rate is dropping. That means more investors, more companies and corporations are owning and buying homes, and less people buying them to live in themselves. And what does that mean? Well, that means more people renting. Combine that with all of the enormous disasters here. We saw more tornadoes in the past few weeks here. Homes being destroyed faster than they're being built in certain locations. And that's going to lead to bigger demand, bigger shortages. Also, you have to factor in the rising supply chain, the disruptions, the cost for shipping goods, the cost of fuel and energy rising is going to keep prices elevated. I wish I could say that home prices are going to crash. I know that people that make those predictions, that have been making those same predictions for years, they've been getting a ton of views. And I would love to just put stuff out there and get a ton of views, but that's not my purpose here. My purpose here is to give you correct and accurate information. All right, now let's get into some more market news, financial news, even personal finance news as far as your household budget. What do you need to prepare for? Well, something that a lot of people are concerned about here recently is the rising cost of food. Let's take a look at something else that's going to drive food prices even higher, specifically for chicken and eggs. And this one comes out of ABC. Iowa egg and turkey farm to lose 5 million birds due to illness. So here we go. So you thought prices were already high for these items. Just wait, because they're going to get a lot higher. And Big Country News is reporting, because of the illness here and inflation, Easter demand is also pushing the price of eggs higher. So you have an illness here killing off millions of turkeys and chickens, and also affecting the egg supply. And on top of that, now you have the Easter egg demand that's coming into play. Easter's right around the corner. So maybe they should pass a mandate that no one can color Easter eggs because of the rising cost of eggs, right? I'm not saying they should do that. I'm just saying that prices are going to go a lot higher, and you have people coloring eggs and hiding eggs and not eating them in most cases. Let's just get plastic eggs. Can we all agree to just get plastic eggs this year? If you even participate in the whole Easter egg thing. I have relatives that are Jehovah's Witnesses and they don't participate. But once you teach kids to be thankful for what they have. From what I've noticed anyway, the kids that I've seen that don't do these holidays, they tend to be more appreciative of smaller things, including just having something to eat and just having a roof over their head and having a warm place to sleep. Kids will survive. They'll be okay without hunting for eggs, without holidays. Now that's a whole debate and discussion we've been having in our household here about how hard should we celebrate these holidays and all that. But yeah, the cost of eggs, cost of chicken, looking at it's going to go a lot higher. So continue to prepare your household budget for that. Many people are just putting in on credit cards. We're seeing more skyrocketing debt for credit cards. What's going to happen? I think there's going to be a surge of bankruptcies here at the end of 2022, likely starting in the second half. Anything could happen, though. I'm not saying it's definitely going to happen. They could come out with all kinds of forgiveness programs. No one has to pay their credit card debt forgiveness. Who knows? Just like the same people that predicting the housing market crash now for 3, 4, 5 years, and it hasn't happened because so many things are propping up the markets right now. So many things can also prop up the average household and prevent a tsunami of evictions, a tsunami of foreclosures, and a tsunami of bankruptcies. It can all be prevented just by different rescue programs and different laws and mandates that are passed. Recent article here, CNBC, over 1/3 of Americans plan to spend their tax refund right away, mostly to pay bills. Well, I thought the consumer was strong. Isn't that what we were told there out of the central bank, that the consumer was strong, that the economy was strong because consumers are spending? Well, consumers are spending all right. They're spending and they're racking up record amounts of debt, and they're in such bad debt, it looks like they're going to spend their tax refund right away, probably to pay off some of the credit card debt because everything is so expensive now. And it even says right here, mostly to pay bills. So you're getting a tax refund and you're turning around in one door, out the other, and just going to pay bills with it. Well, this tax season, not so fun for me. Capital gains tax, some of you might be in the same boat. Instead of getting a refund, I'm going to be paying in, and I'm putting off doing my taxes here. We only have a couple more weeks left. So yeah, it's one thing that I'll be doing here in the next few weeks. Still, we'll be able to put out videos for you here, though, even with that going on. Another report here, thousands of employers are testing a 4-day work week, or I should say thousands of employees. It's only a few employers that are looking at this, but the few that have done this and experimented with this have found that a 4-day work week, you still have the same amount of productivity from the workers. And that's because workers are less stressed out. They're happier because they get 3 days off. They only have to work 4. And therefore, they're more productive. Also, less people calling in sick because of the 4-day work week. Now, will this be expanded? Well, I really hope so. And we see several other countries are currently doing the 4-day work week, and they're having similar results where they see really not a drop-off in productivity, even though it's one less day worked. Now, to make this effective, they're going to have to keep the days at 8 hours, because if you just give people 4 10-hour days, that may be better, but a lot of people get stressed out working 10 hours in a row. I've got people in my family in the medical field, and my sister's a nurse, for example. She'll do 12-hour shifts, and it can get pretty stressful. 10, 12, 14-hour days, even if you have several days off in a row after that, those can be some pretty stressful days, especially if you're on your feet a lot. Being on your feet for 8 hours straight is enough, but 10 hours, 12 hours, if you have a job that you have to be on your feet, that gets pretty excruciating. I used to work a job where I'd have to be on my feet, 8 hours a day, and I wouldn't want to do that and see anyone else doing that, especially as people get in their 50s and 60s and 70s. That can get really, really rough. So yeah, 4-day work week, and we see this talk now emerge as more people are getting more stressed out. We've talked about this a few times, where people are getting more people on antidepressants. At least half of the country right now, half of the population's on some sort of prescription or medication. And this health crisis that we've been seeing now for the last couple of years has also taken a mental toll on a lot of people. A lot of people more unstable. So word of caution, be careful out there. People are more stressed out and have a more shorter fuse now is what I've noticed here out there. A lot more road rage incidents. We reported on that. A lot more accidents. People are distracted, and a lot more. Let's get into the next topic here. Okay, so with the health crisis now going away, not completely, but dropping off, cases dropping off, employees are returning to the office, but just to sit on Zoom calls. So these companies are calling people back to the office so they can do the same thing that they were doing at home, and that's sit on Zoom calls. And we see this with a lot of office jobs now. It's a lot of just phone work, computer work, and a lot of it can be done at home. But for some reason, a lot of these companies still want to call employers back. We know that the president came out a few weeks ago, and he was encouraging companies to bring employers back so they can bring the business back to these downtown areas. Well, a lot of people don't want to come back to the office. They want to stay at home, especially with the gas prices. So let people stay at home, let people work at home. It's nonsense that you're calling these people back to work just to do the same thing that they could do at home, typing on a computer, talking on the phone, or sitting on Zoom calls at the office. So yes, let people stay at home, let people save the gas, let people make lunch at home instead of eating out and save money. It's ridiculous that that these companies are even calling some of these people back to work, maybe just so they can keep an eye on them better. When they're in the office, they can make sure that they're working and not just goofing off at their house. So what do you think about that? I working at home, I love it. Do you think people should be called back to the office to just sit on Zoom calls and just do computer work? I don't think so. I think they should be able to stay at home, but it's up to each company, of course. So I say, back to the earlier topic, give people a 4-day work week, 4 8-hour days, and also the ability to stay working from home, and people will be a lot happier. But the rising cost of living, that 8 hours missed out of the work week, a lot of people will be able to handle that drop off in pay, considering the cost of living. Pretty crazy times we're living in right now. I don't have all the answers. Please let me know what you think about all this down below. But it's insanity times 100 here with everything that we're seeing right now. Next, hotel prices hitting record high. And the mantra is for a lot of people here, this is out of Bloomberg, life is short. Whoops, let me bring my picture back in here. Life is short, and that's driving hotel prices higher. So even people that are in debt, they're saying, who cares? Forget it. I don't care anymore. I'm just going to go on vacation. I'm just going to go ahead and spend money. And that's your choice. Go ahead. And I take vacations every now and then. We're actually looking for rooms here for a little getaway this summer. And we're noticing prices are up, definitely. The last time I took a significant vacation, more than just a day or two, was a few years ago now. We took an RV out, and we found that to be much more satisfying than staying in a hotel, because you're in an RV, you can go to different RV parks, and see a lot more than you would just staying at a hotel. But yeah, people are still spending money, swiping credit cards, taking on debt, and still taking vacations. So you're not going to see empty hotels and empty resorts anytime soon just because prices are higher. People are willing to take on more debt in order to get away. And again, a lot of people are stressed. Back to what we talked about earlier, more people stressed, more people on antidepressants, more people want to take vacations and rent hotels. So the demand is still high, and prices are going to stay high and likely continue to go higher for everything, for hotels, rental cars. Of course, with the rental cars, you have the shortages and all the other issues that we're seeing right now. Supply chains, the chip shortage, manufacturing shutdowns, and more. And yes, that's still happening. Parts shortages, this here is out of Reuters. Parts shortages, high gas prices weigh on U.S. auto market. So vehicle sales are down. Does that mean prices are down? No, prices are up. Sales are down because the prices are up. Less people can afford them. Also, a lot of people are just not finding the car that they want. A lot of people are forced to get a car with 120, 150 and higher miles just to fit in their budget, which is bad, because down the road you're going to have these repair costs. And these people that are buying these high mileage vehicles just so they can get into a vehicle or get a lower monthly payment or something that fits in their budget. I hope it fits in your budget after the transmission goes out, after the engine goes out. You're talking about thousands of dollars worth of repair in some cases, and repair costs, body shop and vehicle repair costs, maintenance costs are also going higher. Let's see. Walmart though, the oil changes haven't went up. I just had my oil changed at Walmart. I know some people say don't do that. Never had a problem. After I get it changed, I always check it and make sure the little bolt is screwed in under there, that the oil drainage. You know, make sure that they did their job. Make sure that it's not missing anything. Make sure oil's not leaking out from your car after you get out of Walmart. And that's true anywhere. No matter who does your, no matter who does your oil change or repair, check it out, look into it, see if they did what they were supposed to do. But yeah, the price was still just under $30 where I went here to get my oil changed at Walmart. I used to change my own oil. What I found out though was that after you buy the oil, after the time that it takes, you buy your own filter, you get under the car, you're only saving a few dollars by doing it yourself. So I started going back to get my oil changed at these places here, discount places. All right, my friends, we're going to wrap this up. So to summarize everything, home prices still going to go higher with all the things we talked about at the beginning. Egg prices, chicken prices going higher. The cost of vacationing, hotels, rental cars going higher. Vehicle part shortages, chip shortages, still going to keep the cost of car prices elevated. I do not see any prices crashing anytime soon. Of course, anything could happen. There could be a black swan event, which I don't see. And that's what a black swan is. Nobody really sees it coming. So, hold on to your wallets and continue to stack, continue to prepare, and hopefully you're making money investing and outpacing this insane cost of living. But big love to everybody. Thanks for supporting this channel. We'll hope to see you back here very, very soon. Bye for now, everybody. Peace.